Say goodbye to boring outfits of the past because this is the only style tip you need to know to improve all of your daily outfits. If we look at any outfit we're wearing, just naturally, there will always be some use of color, texture, and silhouette. The secret is to use and combine these three elements in an intentional way, and this is what is going to give us our better outfits. This style tip I use every single day in all of my outfits. And what I love about this one is that it allows us to honor our personal style and basically not dress all the same. We'll start off today by looking at some of my outfits I wore before I learned this tip. We'll compare it to some of my outfits right now, and then I'm going to go through color, texture, silhouette individually to share with you how to use them intentionally in your outfits. These are some of the outfits I used to wear. And then here are some of the outfits I am wearing a lot of right now. We all have different style and preferences, but I want to explain why I feel like the current outfits are a little bit of an improvement from what they used to be. In my older outfits, I don't think any of these are truly terrible, but when I was wearing them, I would often feel like, maybe something is missing. And that's what we're trying to fix here. I was honestly always wearing some elements of color, and this part was, for the most part, okay. I think I could have used color in a more exciting way, in a way that created more interest, but color was okay. What I was really missing were textures and silhouettes. So with texture, I think 80% of what I'm wearing here is cotton, and it all has a very smooth appearance, with very little contrast between the fabric of my top and the fabric of my bottom. So with textures, there's just not a lot happening in any of these outfits. And then when we look at silhouettes, I'm definitely wearing some different silhouettes, but again, sometimes from top to bottom, there isn't enough contrast. And there's really nothing that stands out to me in shape in these outfits. So fast forward to now, after I learned how to use color, texture, silhouettes, these are the kind of outfits I'm wearing more of. If we look at this outfit, I've chosen a very neutral, very minimal color palette. And then I've gone for more texture in the outfit to create interest. Fuzzy sweater, we have sheer tights, and then leather boots. There is very distinct texture in almost every piece. If we look at shape, we have a little bit more volume on the top. We have this skirt that I think has very unique bell shape, and then tights to have more definition. In these two event outfits, we can see very clearly I'm using color, texture, and silhouette to complete the look. Even in these cozy, casual, everyday outfits, just by using all three elements, we go from something, very, very boring to something just a little bit more exciting, put together for our everyday lives. If you're thinking to yourself, I actually prefer the before outfits as opposed to the after, chances are you have more minimal, classic, timeless style, and you will still 100% benefit from this tip. You don't have to make your outfits look like mine with my choice of colors, textures, silhouettes. You can use these tips in a way that suits you, and your outfits will still be an improvement from what I showed earlier. This style tip is all about using the colors, textures, silhouettes that you like, so we end up with outfits that are as subtle or as dramatic as we want them to be. Let's move on to the next section of this video, where I'm gonna go through color, texture, silhouette individually to share with you very specific things you can try for your wardrobe. I'll do before and after outfit examples to show you how we get to the final look. We'll start here with this base outfit where I'm wearing a cream top and then this blue lilac printed skirt. This is an outfit where old me would have stopped here. I would have put on some simple accessories and this outfit would be done. But now, I feel like it's more interesting to think about color combinations that I can wear with this blue color. If I paired it with this green or I paired it with this burgundy, I honestly feel like it brings that blue purple shade alive. Creating unique color combinations that you love, instead of just wearing color always with very safe options, is definitely going to lift our outfits and make them feel so much more exciting, and also give ourselves endless colors to work with for the future. If you have a colorful piece in your wardrobe and you're deciding which colors to wear with it, there are basically two kinds of colors that I recommend starting with. Most artists, stylists, designers will use these two principles as well. So the first are your complementary colors. If we look at this bluey purple shade, this is why I chose the bag. I think they work so well together because they're just on opposite sides of the wheel. This is something you can always rely on to come up with a combination that will go so well together with the piece you're trying to style. Another foolproof way to come up with a color combination is to use analogous colors, where the colors are next to each other on the color wheel. I'm going for burgundy, which is next to the purple, and I love how beautiful these two colors work together. There is just enough contrast, and I think they pair so harmoniously together. I used to have this misconception that wearing multiple colors together will make an outfit feel jarring, too bold, too much. Wearing good color combinations together can actually allow the eye to rest and create a calming feeling as opposed to just having one pop of color. Another way to use color intentionally to elevate your look is to think about color and mood together. So starting off with this all white outfit, the mood of the white outfit is more simplistic, minimal, clean. And then we go from there to a little bit warmer, softer, with the light cream tones and the brown. I love to use this in the spring, summer to warm up the outfits a little bit and just to give my outfits a lighter feeling. Instead of always reaching for my black accessories, if I wanted to soften the look or change up the mood, I will often go for a brown instead. You can barely tell on camera, but these are deep brown instead of black, and it has this warming effect on the outfit. Using color in an intentional way sometimes means taking away the color. So in these outfits, there's really an absence of any strong colors. It's giving minimal, understated, timeless, elegant, and we're using color in a way to achieve this. We'll cover this when we talk about texture and silhouette, but in an outfit like this, because there is an absence of color, we definitely need to rely a little bit more on silhouette and texture to create interest. Even though color is used intentionally here, if we were to neglect any of the other elements, I think this outfit could be just extremely boring. Every outfit needs a mix of color, texture, silhouette. If we go very simple with our colors like we are here, it means the texture and silhouette definitely need to be present, otherwise the outfit would be a little bit flat. Another way to use color in an intentional way is to go for a pop of color. This is one of my favorites because it's so easy. You wear a neutral outfit, you throw on one pop of color, and you're done. It doesn't get easier than this way of dressing, and yet I think there is always a playfulness that comes out of it. The only thing I keep in mind here is that I like my pop of color to be vibrant enough. It's called a pop of color for a reason, because sometimes I think if it's very muted, if it's a murkier color, it doesn't always have that same effect. And in these cases, I might have rather just kept the outfit neutral because I feel like that almost looks more chic than something murky. Let me break down what I consider when I talk about texture. So firstly, it's the finish of any fabric. Some fabrics will be more matte, some will have more sheen, some will be very smooth, others will be a little bit nubby. The finish of a fabric is probably the key thing I think about. But then beyond that, I'm also thinking about the weight of the fabric. So light, drapey with movement versus something very heavy, opaque, structured. These are two very different looks and two very different textures, at least the way I talk about texture. Because a lot of our wardrobe practically is cotton heavy, I often think about texture in accessories. So this is where jewelry comes in, chains, beads, different finishes, this all plays a role. And then our shoes and bags, we see tons of texture. Leather, patterned, embossed textures, we see raffia, straw, and it's endless. So knowing what we have to play with, let's take a look at how we can use this to elevate the outfits. I truly feel like this would be the boringest outfit ever if it were not for the textures. It's hard to tell, but the t-shirt I'm wearing here is actually a cashmere tee. It's very subtle, but I do love what it adds. If you're thinking this is so impractical and hot, alternatives will be linen. It will be like a nubbier cotton or just a lighter weight merino t-shirt, which by the way, Uniqlo does a great one that I tried on a few weeks back. The pants are slightly sheer, but they are lined and they are more fluid. So it just offers a completely different texture to the top. I've added a braided belt, so offering a third texture. The printed boots is probably the key texture, but without these elements, this outfit would be so boring. Like I said before, there's always a balance between color, texture, silhouettes. If I was wearing more color, like this green bag, then maybe I don't need to use as many textures, but because this first outfit had no color, then there needs to be more texture. One of the reasons autumn-winter outfits can easily look chic is that we all have knitwear to add texture to our outfit. In the spring and summer, when I can't rely on knitwear, I start to pull out the textured accessories, whether that be a little bit more jewelry or whether that is croc embossed finishes, patterns, and anything that will offer clear contrast to all the linen and cotton I'll be wearing. This is a pretty typical outfit combination where I've got on a very flat looking t-shirt and then a trench coat. I think that there is not huge amounts of contrast in these pieces, so I decided to go for a sheer tight. If it's getting warm where you are, a sheer sock will do the same thing, and we're playing with different materials and different weights to give some texture and some contrast. A sheer tie is often the item saving a lot of my outfits, especially when they're just a little bit boring, too simple. I just add a sheer tight. And then as you guys go into warmer weather, one of my favorite fabrics for adding texture will be linen. It has this more natural lived-in feel. Even the fabric itself, you can see all of that texture. And I think it looks amazing when you pair your cotton pieces with linen. And then in the summer, it all comes down to accessories. Lots of jewelries and chains. Adding in a beaded piece to my chains adds a nice amount of texture. Going for pieces that are not completely smooth, but have a little, detail to them will help. And then even going for chains in different sizes, different colors, different weights adds nice dimension. I've fallen in love with woven handbags. So many of my handbags I've chosen in textures for this very reason. In the summer, I can put them on and they make all of my outfits better. Whether we go for woven designs that add texture, or croc and boss, or patent, or straw, or even crochet, these are just simple ways to add texture to summer looks when we can't layer. Even if you only have one pair of summer sandals, I would honestly choose it in a textured pair. So this Croc and Boss sandal was one of my most worn in the summer for the very reason that it's textured. Texture is my favorite way to improve an outfit because the honest truth is that it's the easiest. If you have your daily accessories in a texture, if you have a couple of different necklace chains, maybe a beaded piece, if you have a textured bag and shoe, you're kind of set for all of your outfits. And you can rely on them to make any outfit that much better. The final element is silhouette, and I think this is the one that can probably confuse a lot of us. At least it confused me on how I can use this to improve my outfit. There are endless ways to do it, but here are some of my favorite go-to ways. The most basic is that you want to create shapes in your outfit. So the way to do that is to contrast pieces by going for something fitted, something looser. This is one of the easiest ways to work with silhouettes, and it will give you endless combinations to experiment with in your wardrobe. So I've gone a little bit extreme here. I've really gone fitted in my top, so I've gone for this Lululemon sports crop I have, and I've paired it with these wider fluid trousers. So there is so much contrast between the top and the bottom, and I love that contrast in this outfit. The cardigan is also slimmer, more cropped to tie in with the top. I think the silhouettes are most interesting when there is enough contrast between the two pieces we're wearing. So if I had gone for a looser tank top tucked into these trousers, I don't think it would have created an interesting silhouette, just because the two pieces would have blended into each other. It would not be a wrong outfit, it would simply mean that the silhouette would not stand out as much, and maybe we can just use our colors and our texture a bit more in that outfit. If we wanted to play up silhouettes, make sure there is enough contrast between our pieces. If I wanted to go for a looser top, I could go for wider trousers, and that would bring back the contrast that we need. I love this outfit even more when we bring in this cozier cardigan. So right now we have two looser pieces, one fitted, but I love that the sports crop is just in such contrast to the cozy cardigan. I'm going to say contrast so much in this video, but I love this outfit for the contrast of shapes. And that is what is making this outfit interesting, because the color and textures are both fairly minimal. Here are two different shapes we're creating using the same base outfit. We can either go for the cardigan and we have a very classic silhouette, or we can go for the oversized blazer for something that feels more modern. If you're deciding what kind of silhouettes to wear, what kind of silhouettes to choose, it does tie back to personal style. For example, with this cardigan, it's a more classic, timeless silhouette. So if you're more classic, understated style, this would be a really great shape to go for. Whereas if you have more modern style, I don't think this is the right silhouette for you. You will need even more contrast in your outfit, so the blazer with the skirt would be much better. Another way to think about silhouette is in terms of length. So with the crop top and the trousers, we've got a very short top and a very long trouser. And then with the skirt combination, we've got a very short cardigan with a very long skirt. And we're playing with length here to contrast the shapes. If both items were short, or if both items were long, sometimes it's not as interesting to me because there's not enough difference between the two. This is also why I love wearing shorts and shorter dresses with very long coats. It offers the perfect amount of contrast in the shape to keep everything interesting. Mixing short and long together is such a big part of my style, and I'm doing this in pretty much every single outfit I'm wearing. Fabric and silhouette are 100% tied together. So certain fabrics just have so much drape and movement. Other fabrics are very stiff and structured. So these will give completely different shapes when we're wearing them and moving in them. For myself, when I wear an entire outfit of very structured pieces, it tends to look very boxy. It tends to be very unflattering, and what I'm wearing is also not interesting because you don't get to appreciate each piece because there's just nothing to contrast. Whereas if I wear an outfit and it's all very soft, sometimes it's just a little bit boring as well. So having a mixture of soft and structured is the key to play with silhouettes in the best way. With this outfit, my entire outfit is soft, so I've gone for a more structured shoe in that chunkier loafer and that more structured bag. It's subtle, but I'm still mixing the two. In these outfits, because the skirt is very flowy, I've gone for jackets that offer a little bit of structure, a little bit of shape. I've also gone for structured bags in both cases to give the outfit structure. The final thing for silhouette is not so much styling, but what to look for in your wardrobe pieces. I'm always looking for shapes that manage to be versatile, but still interesting in silhouette. And this is why I really love wearing my crop blazers. I love wearing the long line oversized blazers. And then I love skirts especially that have nice shape. This mini skirt that has the bow shape is something I've worn so much recently because it has structure and a unique shape all in itself. The same goes for this Tibby cotton skirt. It has this lantern shape, which I find very unique. I love finding wardrobe pieces that have very subtle details that keep it feeling fresh and interesting, but it also doesn't go into extreme either, where it becomes hard to style. You don't need a lot of these pieces, but just having a couple will give your wardrobe that much more versatility. This is a style tip that has made the biggest difference to my style ever. If you enjoyed it, I would love for you to go like this video, check out my channel and consider subscribing. Have a lovely week. I'll see you next one. Bye.